Okay, welcome everyone. So today we're going to do another video on improvised weapons, and we're going to discuss pen. And the last time I said, and I'm going to repeat it over and over again, that the use of improvised weapons are merely for self-defense. So this is not to take an advantage over people. In fact, I actually said that this can complicate things. So this is not a substitute for your self-defense skills. Like, you have to have skills, and it's not a substitute. So see this more of as a complement rather than a substitution for those skills, and it's a little bit better. And also I suggested that obviously when talking about self-defense, we're talking about like no other option. Like, this is you have to defend yourself, right? If you can escape, you can leave. Obviously, I would suggest to do that and avoid all conflicts at all. Now, the other day we were talking about the pen and the use of the pen, and today we can even use the pencil to see. But first, I wanted to show you a little thing, the tactical pen that I have discussed prior. And things change when we discuss the tactical pen. So this is not an improvised weapon anymore. This is just like a weapon. Why? Because yes, it functions as a pen in the sense that you have a pen, like a regular pen, but it's designed for other purposes. And just so you have an idea, look how easy it is for this to just penetrate. So you can imagine what it would do to someone's skin if you just strike strong to someone's face or someone's body. Obviously, this is different, and you have to train very carefully when you do. So you can do the same things that you were doing before, the strikes, but in this case, you're going to use the other part. But again, keep in mind that there are videos out there in which people use these to break windshields, and you can imagine how strong this is. So again, a word of caution for that. I just wanted to show you the tactical pen and the uses of that, but keep in mind that again, this is not improvised weapon anymore. This is like a legit weapon. Like, you have to be careful with it, okay? So once I put that aside, the other day we were covering with the pen. You can also do the same things with a pencil. And in fact, if you're training in the beginning, I would actually recommend either something softer than a pencil or a pencil that has not been sharpened yet, like this one, okay? Just in case accidents happens and if you're training with someone else, then I would recommend. But if you are careful and you don't open like this, but rather close it, so the ball point is not pointing to the front, you can start training. The other day we were discussing about the angles, and that's something that I would recommend you. That's the beginning of everything. I would not actually recommend you to do anything else, but practice a lot the regular angles. You can do block and counters, but today we're going to see an exercise on deflecting and countering. So in Kajukenbo and Tempo, you have deflections, and then there are many ways to deflect a punch, and you also have it in boxing. We're going to start with one deflection and one counter, and then we're going to progress to 2 and 3 deflections and a counter. We're going to see how it makes sense all together at the end. Okay, so first one is going to be deflecting and learning how to deflect. This is very easy. Like, you can either pass the strike from one side to the other one by pushing out of the way. You can push 45 degrees down, you can do 45 degrees up, or you can just straight up just push it to the side. What do you achieve? Well, if you push 45 degrees up, obviously the punch will go a little bit higher, clearing the bottom so you can strike to the bottom. If you push to the side, you can still strike to the bottom, but now you have more flexibility to strike to the face as well, but it's mainly used to still countering to the bottom of the body. And the one that we're going to see today is 45 degrees down. It moves the punch and the arm a little bit lower, clearing the upper body for a counter, in this case, countering to the face. So knowing that, that's what we're going to start doing. 45 degrees down, and then your counter. Now, this is like your number 2 angle, is 1 and then counter, look, 45 degrees down. The reason why is because you're going to push and move the other person's head down a little bit, and that's what you want. Okay, so 45 degrees, 45 degrees. So again, 1 and 2. Can you do a regular strike and going straight? Yes, you can do 1 and 2. You can train both, but in the beginning, I would recommend you to do 1 and 2. That's it. Okay, you can train the other one if you want. Now, how to redirect with this hand. This is the tricky part. When people start using this, gets confused and thinks that they think that they have to open the hand. There's no need. You can parry the same way by using your fist, 45 degrees down. So again, 1 parry, 1 counter. Now, 1 parry from this side, and now you can use the other one as a punch. 45 degrees down if you want to use a hammer, but you can also go straight. Same as before, those two options. So again, in this case, you're going to parry on this side, and then you're going to counter with a punch. So review 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. So again, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. And pay attention that I'm not staying to the front. I'm not doing this. I'm moving my head away, my body a little bit. So I'm training for a real punch. So I get out of the way and counter 1 and 2. Okay, that will give you some sense of coordination. So that is a simple parry with a counter. Now, what happens when you do 2? You're going to do 1 and 2, and now you're going to punch. So in this case, I'm going to do 1 and 2, clearing out of the way, and punch. And before anybody saying, but what happened with the other punch? Is at that time when you do the 1 and 2, the other one is punching you. Keep in mind that that is also a way to coordinate for this 1 and 2, in which I will be striking the other person's arm against the other punch. So again, 1, 2, which is a coordination, and 3 is going to be the counter. From the other side, it will be 1, 2, and counter. So again, I'm going to repeat 1, 2, and counter. So we have 1, 2, counter, 1, 2, and counter. Same thing. This can be redirecting, this can be blocking, and this can be a punch. So I can take care of the first punch, take care of the second punch, and I can counter. But in the beginning, just keep in mind that this is a coordination. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now the 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, pushing against the body and counter. 1, 2, 3, and counter. And the other side, 1, 2, 3, and counter. So I'm going to repeat 1, 2, 3, pushing and counter. 1, 2, 3, pushing. All right, so I'm going to repeat again. 1, 2, 3, push and counter. And from the other side, 1, 2, 3, and counter. So 1, 2, 3, punch. 1, 2, 3, punch. So again, 1, 2, 3, punch. 1, 2, 3, punch. Now make sure that your hands are in a proper position. Don't lower your hands too much right out of the way so you get punched. Always close to your face just in case you have to go back. And again, use this as a hammer when you do it. Now, different variations of the same exercise. You can go from the side, okay? You can do 1 and 2. That would open the face towards the other side. It would open this side, excuse me, by pushing the face towards the other side. So it will be striking, okay? Now from the other side, I can do this, clearing or parrying to the side, and I can hammer by, again, hammering to the other side. I will clear this side, and that's useful for 1 in this side, 2 pushing out of the way. I will create damage obviously by pushing out of the way, but I can also punch a third on the body. Okay, why? Because probably when you strike a person, especially with the ball point to the face, the other person will react by covering, leaving that space open. Okay, so again, 1, 2, and then punch 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. That will be right away. So again, you can do a hook. 1, 2, 3. Follow through in one motion. 1, 2, 3. And from the other side, it will be 1, 2, pushing out of the way. And now look, instead of hooking, you're going to use the bend. So again, 1, 2, 3. So again, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. That's it. I'm going to do it from the side so you can see the footwork too. 1, 2, 3 in one motion. 1, 2, 3, punch. 1, 2, and 3. So this motion is very simple. 1, 2, the head, and the hand is close to the head, and then follow through, punch, and on the other side, 1, 2, punching away, and then from this position, going all the way through. So again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, another variation is going to be coming upwards. This is more difficult to stop. Why? Clearing out of the way and punching up. This is a little bit awkward, but look at it. Moving from this position all the way up. Now, when you clear this hand, remember this 45 degrees down, you move your hand back and down a little bit, meaning back towards yourself and down a little bit, like this, clearing that space for this to come up. That could be another variation of the same exercise. Now, another variation that you can train would happen, although we're going to see that in a later video, when you grab the pen in this direction. Obviously, you're going to favor upward motion and sideways from the open to the close, o abierta encerrada, rather than close and open. You could do it like this. You can obviously use your body, but obviously you're going to be favoring this. So again, in this case, you can go from this direction, clearing and going upwards. So again, one motion. You redirect and counter. Now, what happened with the redirecting when the punch, when you're holding the pen in this direction, is the same thing. You're supposed to redirect, in this case, by using the fist, the same way that you were doing before, redirecting and moving. And I would say, instead of paying attention to how the pen is, pay attention what you need to do with your hand. That's going to be the trick. So again, moving out of the way, and then you can punch. Obviously, this is already closed, so you can counter very easily. So again, play around with these ideas, especially grab it like this and continue with your 1 and 2, 1 and 2. That means one beat of sparring and the other one countering. Then go for the 1, 2, and then the counter, 1, 2, and then the counter, and then finish with your 1, 2, 3 counter, 1, 2, 3 counter. Remember that this again is not a substitute for your self-defense skills. You have to have self-defense skills. That means that you have to learn how to punch, you have to learn how to defend yourself, how to move your head. This is just a complement for it. Okay, so see it as such, and overall train safely and train as many times as possible, and I see you in the next video.